A Mochi moment from Sadie, who writes, I'm not crying, you're crying. This is what I said during my first appointment with my physician at Mochi, because I didn't have to convince him I needed a GLP-1. He understood, and I felt supported, not judged. I came for the weight loss and stayed for the empathy. Thanks, Sadie. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Sadie is a Mochi member compensated for her story.
Welcome to the Wealth Detective Podcast. Are you ready to become your own wealth detective? To find money in new ways and experience wealth like never before? Well, come along for some wild stories that will teach you, inspire you, maybe even shock you a little bit. And let's get ready to build wealth together. All right, welcome back. This is Jamie Maddox, your host and wealth detective. So today we're going to start by talking about something that may not seem actually related to wealth, but I'm going to show you how it actually is very related to your wealth. And as you know, I love stories. I love teaching from stories, from experience, and I just love sharing. So here we go. As a lot of you know, I was recently in Thailand for a couple of months. I was there from the middle of November of 2025 until the end of January of 26. So in these next probably a lot of episodes, let's be real, you're going to be hearing a lot of Thailand stories because number one, it was amazing. Number two, I love sharing about it. Number three, I learned a ton, and it's stuff that I want you to know and understand. And hopefully you can find the lesson in the story, the parable, the moral, the whatever, that is going to help you to shift your thinking, your life, your embodiment, your ability to move forward in your life. Because ultimately, I really just want women especially, and especially women entrepreneurs, I really want you to have more money, more time freedom, more balance in your life, and the ability to live how you want while making the money that you want, okay? Because when women have money, they do good things with it, and you get opportunities, you get more freedom, you can make choices, and you're not confined by financial restraints. So I really just love helping women change their relationship with money. Okay, so there's my soapbox for the moment. You'll probably get another one. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 5 steps for walking with fear to your courageous life. Now, let me start. I get a lot of comments from people that are like, oh my gosh, you are so fearless. You're so courageous. You'll go travel the world by yourself. You'll go on all these crazy dates with guys. You'll do all these different things. And they think that it comes from a place of not understanding fear or not having fear. Let me correct that. The reason I can do it and also help my clients walk through their fear is because I'm so intimately connected and I have such an intimate relationship with fear. That's why I can help others walk through it, okay? Because if I didn't understand fear at such a deep level, I wouldn't know how to hold space for others, okay? So just know that when you look at my life and maybe you've had some of those same thoughts and you're like, oh, I could never do that. Well, number one, you could. Number two, I could help you. Number three, I do experience fear, okay? So this was something that I recently shared in my group program, the Hell Yes Method. And I had never actually put it into steps before, but the right question was asked by one of the women in the group. And it was really beautiful because I was able to break it down how I walk through fear, okay, and how I deal with it, right? Okay, so here's the thing. As I was moving around Thailand every couple of weeks, every few days, it kind of depended, but I stayed in a lot of different places, okay? And I started noticing this pattern coming up for me. And here's the pattern. Okay, I would get to the new location, I would get checked into my hotel, I'd get to my room, and I would start to unpack a little bit. And literally I'd be like, sweet, I'm never leaving my hotel room. Awesome. Okay. I'd be like, yep, we're just going to stay here. We're just going to stay here. And I'd be like, because I talk to myself all the time, I'd be like, Jamie, what is going on? Like, why don't you want to leave your room? And it'd be like, well, because I have to figure out a whole new city, a whole new like system of how to get around, because different places in Thailand, some of them didn't use like the transportation apps that I was using. And anyway, like it just was this whole thing. Like there's just certain places that there wasn't this consistency of, how to get around. I had to figure out where to eat. As many of you know and have listened to some prior episodes about me with food, I have a very limited diet. And so not having access to a kitchen for 2.5 months meant that I just ate out all the time, which PS was totally awesome. Also, I had to figure out food. Okay. So I noticed myself going into this like place of fear of being like, I have so much to figure out and I feel so overwhelmed. So the first step is identify it as fear, because it can be sneaky and you may not even recognize it. Because honestly, the first few times this happened, I didn't fully recognize it completely as fear. And it was more because it was happening so frequently, because I was moving around so frequently, that I was like, oh my gosh, it's coming up again. I don't want to leave my hotel room. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to stay in here for the next like 5 weeks. Like, we're just not going to do anything. Sometimes I'm slightly dramatic. Okay. So first, let yourself identify it as fear. Okay. Sometimes we are scared to acknowledge what we're feeling and experiencing because we're worried it's going to create more of it. That is a lie. Okay. Let's just be real. That's a lie. You actually can only work through it when you allow yourself to feel it. Okay. So recognize it as fear. Second, you get to validate, acknowledge, and comfort yourself. So what does this mean? So for me, when I would be like, oh my gosh, I really don't think I can do this again, to go figure out all of these things by myself, look stupid. Seriously, when you're traveling around by yourself and trying to figure things out, you do a lot of stupid things. And not that it's stupid, it's just that you look silly, okay, as you're trying to figure things out. And sometimes it gets to you a little bit, okay? So for me, this is when I got to be really gentle and kind with myself and say, I would give myself a hug and I would just speak so gently out loud to myself. And I'd be like, oh, sweetheart, this is a lot. You have been moving around a lot. You've been by yourself a lot. This is a whole new location, even though it's still in the same country. It's a lot. And it makes sense why you just need a second. So take a second. Just if you need a second, great. But you've got this. You're going to figure it out. And it's okay to look silly. It's okay to not know where you're going. It's okay to not understand how this small island's transportation works. It's okay. And I would just you have to be kind to yourself and just gently reassure yourself, okay? So then the third step, figure out what physical need isn't being met that is potentially exacerbating this feeling of fear. Okay, one of the biggest things is you're probably hungry. Now, you might be thinking, really? My fear stems from being hungry? Yeah, actually, sometimes it really does. And 90% of the times, that's what it was for me, okay? Because as I said, sometimes it was a little tricky to find food for me. So I didn't always eat a ton, okay? Especially on travel days, because I didn't always have access to some of my mainstays or staples, you know what I mean? And so after I validated myself, it was like, okay, am I hungry? And 9.5 or 9.9 out of 10 times, it was like, yeah, I'm really hungry. Okay. So maybe it's not hunger for you, but is it a lack of sleep? Is it dehydration? Is it some physical need that is making the fear feel worse and bigger than it is? Because odds are, especially if it's like a reoccurring pattern for you, my bet is that there is a physical need that is needing to be met that will help it to get better. Okay. So after I acknowledged the fear, I gave myself some love and comfort and acknowledgement. I then said, okay, are you hungry, sweetheart? And I was like, yes, I'm starving. I've been traveling all day and I'm starving. Okay. So then the next step, number 4, you get to decide on what your first step is going to be. And you kind of get to gamify it. Okay. So I love gamifying things. I love asking fun, different questions and just opening up possibility and wonder and options. Okay. So for me, it was like, ooh, where am I going to eat? I wonder how many places close by are going to have food that I can have. Like, I wonder if there's a place nearby that has something I've never had before that I can actually eat. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I can quickly find someone to go to eat with. And so then I'll have someone to chat with while I'm eating dinner. I wonder if I'll be able to communicate and actually somewhat ask for what I want and not just point to the menu. Okay. So just start asking fun questions. So for me, I would then open my Google Maps. I usually had some food options pinned by that time, but not every place that I went to. So I would do a search. I would start marking some locations. I would start figuring out, okay, where do I want to eat? Okay. So decide what your next step is. And usually it's going to be what physical need needs to be met and how can you do it? Okay. 5th, take the first step. Go to the place and eat. Okay. Now I know some of you are like, these are so obvious. Okay. But have you done them? Have you been able to work through your fear in this way? Have you ever thought of it this way? And I say that with love because, yeah, they are really simple, but they're not always easy to implement, especially in the moment when you're just overwhelmed with fear and with doubt and hesitation and all the things, right? Okay, so you're going to take your first step. So for me, it was like, okay, I've at least got a location and a direction. Great. Do my transportation apps work here? If they did, I would order a ride. I would order my motorbike, which was like my absolute favorite thing in Thailand, was just riding around on the back of motorcycles with the wind in my hair. Like, it was like the best. Okay. If the apps didn't work, then I would take a few more deep breaths and be like, awesome. Can I walk to said location? Or do I need to figure something else out? Do I need to go, try to, get a ride by attempting to, what's the word? I can't even think of it. Not barter, but anyway, just go walk up to one of the taxis and try to get a ride and hope that I know what price I agreed to and that I said the right location. Okay. So take the first step. So it was like, okay, great. I'm going to go and get some food. Okay. So after I got the food, and here's the thing, taking that first step actually created the chain reaction for multiple other steps to naturally be figured out. Do you see that? It was like, okay, because I figured out where I could eat because I was hungry, it then helped me figure out the transportation for that location. It helped get me familiar with the streets. It helped me get familiar with the location. So by that one thing, so our bodies literally give us guidance and information. Because if my body wasn't hungry, I probably would have just stayed in my hotel rooms or Airbnbs or whatever, wherever I was staying, right? Okay. But because of all of this, that first step created that chain reaction that helped familiarize myself with the new place. Okay. And then number 6, reevaluate. So after I had eaten, I'm sitting at this beautiful restaurant, usually by the ocean. And I would just sit there and be like, okay, how am I doing? And I'd be like, has the fear subsided? And usually it was like, oh yeah, I've got this. I know how to do this. I totally know how to do this. I've got this. And then you can kind of be like, okay, what's the next step? Do we need to figure out some excursions? Do we need to go walk around and explore? Do we want to go meet some people? Is there some fun fire show or night market or something to go do that will then help yet again to increase that cultural immersion? Okay. So I'm just going to say the 6 steps again. Number 1, identify it as fear. Number 2, validate, acknowledge, and comfort yourself. 3, figure out what physical need isn't being met that is making it worse. 4, decide on your first step and gamify it by asking some fun questions. 5, take the first step. And 6, reevaluate. Did it help? And what's your next step? Okay. So That is how you work through fear. That is how you step forward with courage into your hell yes life, because that's what we want. We want to feel alive and energized by how we're living, but fear stops us so often, okay? This goes with money. How often are you wanting to either, start a business, offer a program or a retreat, or quit your job and do something new and switch jobs, or just do something different that is going to exponentially increase your income, and yet you stay stuck because you have so much fear about it? And this is absolutely zero shame, because like I said, I can only be an expert in fear because I have lived a lot of fear, okay? So with that being said, I hope you also see that you can work through it, that you can move through all these seemingly blocks to your potential, to your increase in income, and that it can happen for you. You can increase your income. You can move forward. So regardless of your level of fear and your desire to have more courage, it is possible for you, okay? And it starts with those 6 steps. And one of the key elements, like I said, is your body giving you your clue to help you figure out your first step, which then opens up other possibilities and other clues to your next steps, because you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need the next step, okay? So let me know, did this resonate? Have you experienced this? Do you feel like you have a lot of fear? What is it? I would love to hear from you, and I hope you have an incredible day, an incredible week, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this episode, there are more tips, tricks, and fun ways to bring in money in my weekly newsletter. Sign up and get all the juicy details every single Monday.